This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Many years ago, there was a man in this congregation whose name was Jonas Byberg. Now, I am told that Jonas Byberg was a very stately man. I know Jonas Byberg was a very creative, inventive man. He was a machinist here in town. He built machinery. He was an inventor. He was a very creative man, and he wanted to give a gift to the church. So he scratched his head and he tried to decide what kind of a creative gift he could give to the church. What did the church need above everything else? And what Jonas Byberg decided that the church needed above anything else were better preachers. So Mr. Byberg established a preaching endowment. And every year, there are the Byberg conferences, and it's where preachers go to hopefully become better preachers. Now, Mr. Byberg was a really smart man, because not only did he create this endowment, the deal is that the pastor at Immanuel needs to be a part of that. So Jonas Byberg is still investing in your welfare, I hope. So each year, somebody comes and does a presentation. The person who came this year was a homiletics professor. It's a fancy way of saying a preaching professor. And the way her message for us, what she had to teach us this year, was preaching by the verbs. And that's what we're going to do today. We are going to look at Easter by the verbs. Now, if this goes well today, we say thank you, Mr. Byberg. And if it goes poorly, it's all his fault. Okay? So, first thing I want to do, I'm going to need some helpers. I promise I am not going to call on anybody. So introverts, breathe. It's going to be okay. I'm going to need bodies in order for us to do Easter by the verbs. You do not need to speak. So I need volunteers. And the first volunteers I need two big burly guards. Two big burly guards. Brett, come on up. I'm going to use you for the angel. Kind of truth be told, he was a setup. So Brett, I'm going to have you up here on top. I'm waiting for burly guards, and I really want a more burly guard, but thank you. Gentlemen, we can wait for a while. I need two burly guards. Gentlemen. Oh, I got one. Thank you. Oh, thank you, gentlemen. Excellent. Thank you, burly guards. Oh, this burly guard's got a helper. Fabulous. Okay, burly guards, you are going to be down here guarding the tomb. Excellent. I need Jesus. We all need Jesus, but I really need Jesus right now. So, can I please have a Jesus? Probably a gentleman. Probably a gentleman. It goes much quicker once we have people. Do I have a gentleman? Thank you very much, Jesus. I need you right there. Right there. Perfect. We need two women, and it would probably be better if the women had longer skirts or slacks on. Two women. Oh, thank you very much. I need one more woman. We are almost there. One more woman. Thank you. Please come on up. And women, you can start about right where Grace is, Denise. Come on over. Yeah. Okay, so what we are going to do is Easter by the verbs. So we start by setting the scene. After the Sabbath, as the first day of the week was dawning, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary went to see the tomb. What time of day is it? It's actually not even quite morning. It's pre-dawn, so it is dark, and for all that's going to happen, you think about this, we got some creep factor going, okay? got creep factor. Now, what are the ladies doing? They're going to see the tomb. Now, there are other gospels that say that they're going to go dress the body. That's not what Matthew tells us. Matthew tells us they're going to see the tomb. What are they going to the tomb for? Is what Jesus has said to them nagging? Maybe he is going to be raised. Are they going to cry and mourn? We don't know. The ladies are going to see the tomb. And suddenly, in the midst of all that, there is an earthquake. Now, have you ever heard the term earth-shattering experience? This is probably the biggest one of all time. And it's as though creation is announcing this thing that's going to happen. An angel of the Lord descends from heaven. Be descending. You are descending from heaven. I don't know what that looks like. He comes, he rolls away the stone, and he sits on it. It's a huge stone. Would you please roll that stone away? You're going to have to pretend. I don't have a... Oh, it's much bigger than that. Much bigger. Oh, excellent. And actually, he gets it rolled up way. He's going to go and stand on the tomb. Yeah. All the way. All the way. Standing on the tomb. Okay. Yeah. Not sure the angel's really excited about this whole thing. Now, what do we know about the angel? His appearance is like lightning, and his clothes are white as snow. What do you think the gospel writer is trying to tell us? There is something otherly about this. This isn't just a gardener hanging out there. There is something absolutely otherly about this messenger from God. He's lightning. He's white as snow up there. Now, for fear of him, what happens? Here you go. Here's your line, gentlemen. The guards shake. Shaking guards, and they become like dead men. Excellent. They are dead, all the way dead. Now, isn't this absolutely intriguing? What's supposed to be in the tomb? A dead guy, yes? There's no dead guy in the tomb. Where are the dead guys? Outside the tomb. What a fabulous reminder of how the good news changes, where death is and where life is, and it switches. There's no dead guy in the tomb. The dead guys are outside the tomb. Now, these ladies have also witnessed. Come a little closer now. They've also witnessed the earthquake. They've also witnessed it all. So what's the first thing heavenly beings always say to folks? Do not be afraid. So you're calming them down. Excellent. Do not be afraid. It's all good. The next thing the angel says to them is, I know what you're looking for. God's messenger not only knows who they are, God's messenger knows them intimately enough to know why they're here. Do not be afraid. I know you. I know what you're looking for. You're looking for Jesus who was crucified. Done to Jesus, that verb. Was crucified. Happened to him. That's going to be really important because of the next one. Angel says, he is not here, is present. Presently, he's not here. Presently, he is somewhere else. He's not here. Excellent. Very good. Whatever you're doing, fabulous. You're getting a reaction. Excellent. Where's Jesus? He has been raised. Is it Jesus' work? No. Done to Jesus. Just as evil killed Jesus, God has raised Jesus. It was done to him. He is not here. He has been raised, as he said. Now, this is when our large and in charge angel gets bossy. He uses two imperatives. And here comes our first one. He says, come and see. Come and see. Come and see. Come and see. Oh, these ladies are coming to see They're seeing. They are checking it out. Is he there? He is not there. He is not there. He's not there. Angel said, come and see. Look, he's not here. Now, the angel's next imperative. Go. Go and tell. Now, don't quite go yet, ladies, because he's going to, you can stand up, but you don't need to go yet. What's the message that they're supposed to go with? Go and tell. The message is, he has been raised. Once again, God's done the work. Go tell that he has been raised from the dead. And not only that, he's going ahead of you. He's going ahead of you to Galilee, and there you're going to see him. This is my message. What are the women supposed to do? Go and tell. The next time you hear that there is no biblical precedence for women preachers, you remember this moment. Go and tell. So, they're ready. They leave the tomb quickly, but only semi-quickly, because I'm going to stop you right here. Because how do they leave the tomb? With fear and great joy. You know, folks, this is good news for us. Because sometimes we think that we have to be one way or the other. If I have doubt, then I don't have faith. If I have faith, I have no doubt. This is a reminder that it's both and. They're fearful. They don't know what's happening. They're not clear about what happened. But what they do know is there's no dead guy in the tomb. They leave with fear and great joy, and they're going to go tell. So off they go. They're running to tell, and suddenly, surprise, Jesus does what? Jesus meets them. Who does the work? Jesus. Jesus meets them. Come along, Jesus. Yeah, come and meet him. Come, Jesus. Jesus, there, Jesus is coming. Jesus comes, and Jesus meets them and says to them, greetings. A wonderful interpretation of that is, behold, be glad, rejoice, he says to them. Now, what do? They come to him, they take hold of his feet, and they worship him, thus the long skirts. It's a good idea. Now, Jesus, oh, I love this. Look at Jesus' blessing on them. Very nice, very nice. Jesus says to them, Jesus, God's own son, the messenger of God, have a very similar message. The first part is, do not be afraid. And the second part is, go tell. Go tell. Tell them to go to Galilee, and there they will see me. That is Easter by the Verbs. Thank you all very much. From the time that the folks were expelled out of the Garden of Eden, throughout history, certainly in Jesus' lifetime as a baby, when he's trying to outrun Herod, the family's trying to outrun Herod, throughout Jesus' life, last week at Palm Sunday, Holy Week, it seems like evil, or the evil one, has had the entire reign. And everyone, including Jesus, has been forced to go down that same stream until today. And today, God sends his messenger, who is large and in charge and pushy, and all of a sudden it's clear that evil and death and sin don't have the final word. I'm a professional, don't be worried. Okay, so we have a pushy angel who speaks in imperatives. And the imperatives today are clear. The imperatives are come and see and go and tell. good news of Easter isn't a sweet little story written in the scriptures. It is a living, breathing experience. That's why we gave it breath and life and action this day. And the proof isn't in what is written in the book. The proof is in lives that were radically changed. Ours, yes. The disciples, yes. Right after the crucifixion, the disciples were a scared lot of people that had locked themselves in an upper room because they were sure that the soldiers were coming for them next. They were waiting for the next shoe to fall. They were waiting to be the next deaths. Those same people end up preaching in the street. The officials tell them to shut up, and they will not shut up. What changed? They had an experience of a risen, living Lord. And every one of them, Judas commits suicide, John is exiled, all of the rest of them spend their lives preaching the good news of Easter. Not one of them recants that story. Yet each one of them ends up being martyred, killed for telling that story. Just 3 days ago, on Good Friday, the establishment thought that they had finally silenced their problem. They killed Jesus, and not only killed him, but put him in a tomb, sealed it up, and put guards out in front to make sure there was going to be no more havoc. And yet, in good, divine manner, the tables are turned. And what follows is beyond earth and beyond death, and it takes us to a brand new vision of how things can be. Because if dead stuff doesn't stay dead, everything is up for grabs. In Easter, in Jesus Christ, we are reminded that we have a God who will fight any foe in order to find us and to meet us. So, the imperatives of the angel: come, see, go, tell. Come see, and come taste, and come drink. Come live and serve. Come and be forgiven and transformed so that you can go and tell. And we can go and tell because just like those disciples, the resurrection emboldens us. It empowers us. It enlivens us. Come, see. Go, tell. Jesus Christ is alive. Amen.
Well, this light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine every day.